This is not an iPad. Well, okay, it's not just an iPad. This is a supercomputer. And if you'd told me that a few weeks ago, I would have said you were crazy. For years, my iPad was basically this, an amazing screen for watching movies and mindlessly scrolling through Twitter. A gorgeous, expensive, and beautifully engineered Netflix machine. And I honestly thought that's where its potential topped out. That it had a very clear, very low glass ceiling. I was dead wrong. By connecting this to the cloud and a few key pieces of hardware, I've tapped into a level of power that genuinely rivals my desktop PC. The power to run full-fat Windows applications, to code in a real development environment, and to multitask in a way I just never thought was possible on this device. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it, too. Section 1. The problem. The iPad's glass ceiling. Let's be honest, we've all been there. You buy an iPad, maybe you even spring for the Pro model, telling yourself it's for productivity. You get the magic keyboard, the pencil, and for about a week, you feel like you're living in a sci-fi movie. But then, reality hits. You try to manage files between a couple of different apps and a hard drive, and it's just clunky. You try to have a research paper, a web browser, and your notes open at once, and you find yourself endlessly swiping between full-screen apps. That's not real multitasking. And if you're a developer, a video editor, or an architect, the idea of running your mission-critical desktop software on an iPad seems like a complete fantasy. Now, iPad OS has come a long way. Features like Stage Manager are trying to bridge that gap. But even that feels pretty limited. You can only have 4 apps on the screen. Resizing them is a little weird, and it just feels like a half-step toward a desktop experience, not the real deal. Sooner or later, the iPad goes right back to its main job, being the world's best YouTube and Netflix machine. It lives on the couch. I hit this wall over and over. I try to edit a complex video, and the mobile version of the app just wouldn't have the features I needed. I try to set up a proper coding environment and just run into one dead end after another. The iPad felt like this beautiful, powerful island with no bridges to the mainland of serious, professional work. Section 2. The aha moment. It's not about the hardware inside. My big aha moment came when I completely changed how I was thinking about the iPad. I was so hung up on the limits of the hardware inside the tablet and the rules of iPad OS. But what if the iPad isn't supposed to be the entire computer? What if, instead, it was the perfect portal? Think of it this way: the iPad isn't the computer anymore. It's the world's best screen, keyboard, and trackpad for a much more powerful computer that lives somewhere else. The iPad gives you the stunning display, the great accessories, and the go-anywhere portability. But all the heavy lifting, the processing, the rendering, the compiling, that's all happening on a high-end PC in a data center. Your iPad becomes what's called a thin client. It's a beautiful, responsive window into a much bigger brain. And if your internet is fast enough, the experience is almost impossible to tell apart from using a computer that's right in front of you. The solution has 2 parts. First, we need to physically turn the tablet into a workstation you can actually sit at for hours. Second, we have to perform the digital brain transplant, connecting it to its new supercomputer mind in the cloud. This is where the magic really starts. Section 3. The physical transformation. Building the docking station. Before we tap into the cloud, we have to make the iPad feel like a real computer. And that means ports, peripherals, and pixels. The absolute heart of this whole setup is a good USB-C hub or a docking station. This is non-negotiable. It's what breaks your iPad out of its single-port prison. I'd recommend getting one with at least an HDMI port for a monitor, a few classic USB-A ports for accessories, an SD card reader, and, this is critical, a USB-C port for pass-through charging so you don't run out of juice. There are tons of them out there, from tiny dongles to full-on desktop docks. With that hub plugged in, the first thing you connect is a proper keyboard and mouse. I'm talking about a full-sized mechanical keyboard you love to type on and an ergonomic mouse that actually fits your hand. This one thing completely changes how you use the device. You stop being a touch-first content consumer and start being a keyboard-first creator. All that muscle memory from years of using a desktop kicks in, and your speed and precision just skyrocket. Next up, the screen. Using a simple USB-C to HDMI cable from your hub, you can connect your iPad to a big external monitor. iPad OS with Stage Manager lets you extend your display, not just mirror it, giving you a second screen to work with. You can have your 4 apps on the iPad, and another 4 on the big monitor. It's a huge step up. But the real supercomputer feeling comes when you use that big monitor as the primary display for your cloud computer, which we're getting to right now. And finally, storage. One of the biggest pains with an iPad is that you're stuck with the expensive internal storage you bought. With a hub, you can plug in massive external SSDs. Suddenly you can work with huge video files, photo libraries, or giant datasets without ever worrying about filling up your iPad's own drive. Mid-roll CTA. Okay, we've built the body. We have a full-fledged workstation that happens to be powered by an iPad. If you're already getting ideas for your own desk setup, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Because next, we're giving this thing its supercomputer brain, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Section 4. The brain transplant connecting to the cloud. This is the part that takes us from a clever iPad setup to something that truly feels like a powerhouse. We're going to use a cloud PC service. The most straightforward way to do this is with a service like Shadow PC. Put simply, you're renting a powerful, full-blown Windows PC that lives in a secure data center. You just download the Shadow app on your iPad, log in, and in seconds you are streaming a complete Windows desktop right to your screen. It's like Netflix, but for an entire computer. And just like that, all the annoying limits of iPad OS disappear. Want to run the full, desktop version of Adobe Premiere Pro? You can. Need to run some niche engineering software that only exists on Windows? No problem. Want to play a graphics-intensive PC game with a controller on your iPad's gorgeous screen? It works, and it works shockingly well. You can connect all your peripherals, your mouse, your keyboard, even your external hard drives through the hub, and your new cloud PC sees them all. This solves all the big problems we talked about earlier. File management? You've got the full Windows File Explorer. App compatibility? You have the entire library of Windows software at your fingertips. True multitasking? You can have as many windows open as your cloud PC can handle, all arranged on your big monitor just like a normal desktop. If you're more technically adventurous or you need this for work, you can go even further with services like Amazon Workspaces or Microsoft Azure Virtual Desktop. These are more enterprise-level tools, but individuals can use them too, and they offer incredible security and custom options. They have dedicated apps for iPad OS that make connecting to these virtual machines a total breeze. Section 5. The reality check pros, cons, and who this is actually for. Okay, let's bring it back down to earth for a second. This setup is incredibly powerful, but it's not going to be the perfect solution for everyone or for every single situation. The biggest catch? Your internet connection. This whole experience is being streamed to you. If you have slow, spotty, or high latency internet, you are going to feel it. It just won't be smooth. For most work, writing, coding, design stuff, a standard home broadband connection is totally fine. But if you're trying to do frame-perfect video editing or play competitive online games, you're going to need a really solid, fast connection. Then there's the cost. On top of your iPad and all the accessories, these cloud PC services are a monthly subscription. Shadow, for example, starts at around $30 a month. You have to weigh that against the cost of buying and maintaining a whole separate high-end laptop or desktop. For some people, that flexibility and lower upfront cost is a massive win. For others, a dedicated local machine might make more sense financially in the long run. So, who is this really for? I can think of a few people. It's for the student who has an iPad but needs to run one specific Windows-only program for a class. It's for the frequent traveler or digital nomad who wants to pack light with just an iPad but needs to access their heavy-duty work computer. It's for the creative pro who wants a portable setup for working on the go, without forking over thousands for a maxed-out MacBook Pro. And yes, while the newer M-powered iPads are becoming serious machines in their own right, they still can't run the vast majority of desktop-class programs that professionals rely on. This isn't for the person who needs to work offline for long stretches, or for someone on a tight budget who can't take on another monthly bill. Conclusion: so, did I actually turn my iPad into a supercomputer? In a way, yeah. But maybe a more accurate way to say it is that I turned my iPad into the world's most versatile and beautiful terminal for a supercomputer. We took this device, which I always saw as just a media tablet, built a real workstation around it, and did a brain transplant with a cloud PC. And the result is a shockingly capable and legitimate work machine. It just goes to show you that a device's power isn't just about the chip inside it, but what you can connect it to. The iPad's greatest strength isn't just its M-series chip. It's the ability to be a crystal clear window to something much, much bigger. It completely changes what you think this slab of glass is capable of. What's the most demanding app you would run with a setup like this? Let me know your dream workflow down in the comments. I'd love to see what you all come up with. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tech challenges, future experiments, and real talk from TechWave 65. I'll see you in the next one.